Divine, divine, divine rising. Welcome in, darling hearts. How are we doing? Okay, we made it. We totally made it. Monique Christine here, founder of LotusLifeWithMC.com, the Lotus Life by Monique Christine app, and your newest hostess with the mostest of the Lotus Life Exchange. I am so excited and grateful to be here with you, my beautiful lights. I hope that we are thriving today. Happy Monday. It is Monday, August 5th, and we are ready to rock around here. I have an action-packed show waiting for you, and we are kicking things off with our very, very, very first episode. So we're going to work the kinks out. Today is the first official day of Mercury retrograde also. You know me, it wouldn't be me if I did not start things on the first official day of Mercury retrograde. So it is all to the good. I am so grateful that you are here with me. So let's go ahead and get that out of here. Hi, welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to the first show. So I feel like we definitely need to lay a solid foundation of why we're here, what we're doing, and what you can look forward to as we move forward. Now, we're currently live streaming on TikTok. We are also hanging out over on YouTube and Twitch. So if at any point you have to leave, don't worry about it. You can always go back to YouTube to watch the replay. My Twitch replays live for 7 days right now, so I do recommend that you go to YouTube. Don't worry, I'll give you that info as we move through the show, okay? So let's see. Let me make sure that we are good and golden here. This show is going to stream Monday through Friday live, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Okay, and this is supposed to be a fun yet a very, very, very informative space. I know that we're all busy, but that is no excuse for us to not know what is going on. When you know better, you do better, and I'm here to give you what you need so that you can make the best possible choices for your life, for your children, and for future generations to come. Yes? Yes. Alrighty, boos. So, I say, without further ado, let's go ahead and let's jump right into this thing. So, why in the world did I decide to start this show? Well, the incomparable, iconic civil rights leader and late Congressman John Lewis plays a big role in that. Now, if you've never looked up John Lewis, I encourage you to. He did march with Dr. King. He lived to be 80, and he passed away back in 2020. He actually passed away July 17th of 2020 at the age of 80 after a 6-month battle with cancer. But what I can tell you is Mr. Lewis lived a very, very, very full life. And like I said, I do encourage you to look him up. So if you remember around the time of his passing, if you happen to pay attention to politics or just like the state of the nation, I live in the US of A. I know that I was, and I know I'm not alone in this. We were devastated when he passed. He definitely coined the phrase, get in good trouble, and he got into a lot of good trouble. And 2 days before he passed away, he penned this beautiful letter to the nation, and it was published, well, he sent it to the New York Times 2 days before his passing, and it was supposed to go out as an op-ed on the day of his funeral. What a forward thinker. Like, seriously, can we just take a moment to acknowledge the fact that I do good, well, listen, I'm a good planner, but I don't know that I would, I mean, now I probably would, but prior to, Mr. Lewis, I don't know that I would have even thought about what happens after I leave this plane of existence, right? Because each and every one of us, we have loved ones, we have people who look up to us, people who are influenced by us. And when we leave, we are going to leave an absence in their worlds. And so it does make me think about, when it is my time to go to the upper room, which, dear Lord, I pray is not anytime soon, um, how can I support those who are feeling my absence? So let me go ahead, take a little sip of water. Remember to stay hydrated, friends. It is hot. I don't know where you live. I live in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be in the 90s today and probably all week. So please make sure that you are staying hydrated. So good, so good, so good. Just in case you don't know, if you are 18 or older, you want to be consuming at least a gallon of water a day, at the very least. For those of you using the metric system, that is 3.78 liters. Okay? All right, cool, 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 cool. So, in his letter, which was absolutely beautiful, he told us to get in good trouble. Now, not everyone has a subscription to the New York Times. Not everyone was watching the news that day. And so you may have missed that. I got you, boo. I'm actually going to read that op-ed to you. I'll do my best to not get teary, but listen. This touched my soul that day, and it stuck with me. And so I hope that, if nothing else, you are inspired to get in good trouble. Okay, so the title of this op-ed is "Together You Can Redeem the Soul of the Nation." Though I am gone, I urge you to answer the highest calling of your heart and stand up for what you truly believe. While my time here has now come to an end, I want you to know that in the last days and hours of my life, you inspired me. You filled me with hope about the next chapter of the great American story when you used your power to make a difference in our society. Millions of people, motivated simply by human compassion, laid down the burdens of division. Around the country and the world, you set aside race, class, age, language, and nationality to demand respect for human dignity. That is why I had to visit Black Lives Matter Plaza in Washington, though I was admitted to the hospital the following day. I just had to see and feel it for myself that after many years of silent witness, the truth is still marching on. Emmett Till was my George Floyd. He was my Rayshard Brooks, Sandra Bland, and Breonna Taylor. He was 14 when he was unalived, and I was only 15 years old at the time. I will never ever forget the moment when it became clear that he could easily have been me. In those days, fear constrained us like an imaginary prison, and troubling thoughts of potential brutality committed for no understandable reason were the bars. Though I was surrounded by two loving parents, plenty of brothers, sisters, and cousins, their love could not protect me from the unholy oppression waiting just outside that family circle. Unchecked, unrestrained violence and government-sanctioned terror had the power to turn a simple stroll to the store for some Skittles or an innocent morning jog down a lonesome country road into a nightmare. If we are to survive as one unified nation, we must discover what so readily takes root in our hearts that could rob Mother Emanuel Church in South Carolina of her brightest and best. Pew pew, unwitting concert goers in Las Vegas, and choke to unalivement the hopes and dreams of gifted violinists like Elijah McClain. Like so many young people today, I was searching for a way out, or some might say, a way in. And then I heard the voice of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. on an old radio. He was talking about the philosophy and discipline of nonviolence. He said we are all complicit when we tolerate injustice. He said it is not enough to say it will get better by and by. He said each of us has a moral obligation to stand up, speak up, and stand out. And speak out. When you see something that is not right, you must say something. You must do something. Democracy is not a state. It is an act. And each generation must do its part to help build what we called the beloved community, a nation and world society at peace with itself. Ordinary people with extraordinary vision can redeem the soul of America by getting in what I call good trouble, necessary trouble. Voting and participating in the democratic process are key. The vote is the most powerful, non-violent change agent you have in a democratic society. You must use it because it is not guaranteed. You can lose it. You must also study and learn the lessons of history because humanity has been involved in this soul-wrenching existential struggle for a very long time. People on every continent have stood in your shoes through decades and centuries before you. The truth does not change. And that is why the answers worked out long ago can help you find solutions to the challenges of our time. Continue to build union between movements stretching across the globe because we must put away our willingness to profit from the exploitation of others. Though I may not be here with you, I urge you to answer the highest calling of your heart and stand up for what you truly believe. In my life, I have done all I can to demonstrate that the way of peace, the way of love, and nonviolence is the more excellent way. Now it is your turn to let freedom ring. When historians pick up their pens to write the story of the 21st century, let them say that it was your generation who laid down the heavy burdens of hate at last, and that peace finally triumphed over violence, aggression, and war. So, I say to you, walk with the wind, brothers and sisters, and let the spirit of peace and the power of everlasting love be your guide. Again, that essay was written by the incomparable John Lewis just days before his passing, back in July 17, 2020. Back on July 17, 2020. And those words are still true today. Those words could not be more accurate and more relevant for all of us. And so, my dearest darling hearts, I encourage you to get in good trouble. I encourage you to stand up for what is right, for what matters to you. The question that you have to ask yourself is not whether you identify as Democrat or Republican or independent, but rather, what do you, the limitless soul having a human experience, what do you stand for? When your time here on this plane of existence is done, what do you want your legacy to have been about? What do you want to leave for your children and their children and their children's children and future generations to come? Only you can answer that. This goes beyond party lines, beyond gender, beyond ethnicity. This goes straight to your core. What do you stand for? And if you're not sure, it's time to get clear. Because as my grandmother would always say, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. So that is why we're here. That is why this show exists. And it will continue on. This show will continue. This is not just a temporary thing, just while we are working our way toward the election. Because it's important that we all stay informed. Now, personally, I was never, ever, ever interested in politics. I'll be honest with you. I was never interested in politics. I wanted to stay as far away from politics as possible. They were boring. And that was largely due to the fact that, yeah, we had leaders that we may not agree with on everything, but at their core, there were certain fundamental things that were non-negotiables. They were never up for debate. There was this silent collective understanding that we all stood for the good of the country, for the good of the collective. Until old Don Don came into the picture. And then it seemed like all reality, all rationale went out the window. And I quickly realized I did not have the luxury of not paying attention. As a matter of fact, I needed to pay all of the attention. As a member of the LGBTQIA family who is beautifully melanated, raising a son who is beautifully melanated in America, I don't have the luxury of not paying attention. And the truth is, it doesn't matter your gender or how much melanin you have. You don't have the luxury of not paying attention. You don't. Unless you're ready to go to the upper room called heaven. It doesn't matter where on earth you go. You don't have the luxury of not paying attention. And so I ask you, my dear darling hearts, please do what you can to stay informed. And I promise you that I will do everything in my power to always bring you truth and to bring you the information that you need so that you can make fully informed decisions. Because we're in this together, regardless of where in the world you live. We're in this together. Now, because I do live in the US of A, I'm definitely going to stand up for this country. I love this country. It's not perfect, but this is my home. This is my home. And I am not going to sit idly by and just twiddle my thumbs and leave it to everyone else to hopefully do their part. Because if heaven forbid, on November 5th, things don't go in the right direction, I have to be able to live with myself. And I would not be able to live with myself if I did not get in good trouble. So boom, baby, here we are, getting in good trouble. Welcome in, darling hearts. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, so let's start talking about the election. Okay, I'm going to give you some facts and figures just so you know where we are in time and just how important this is. So the 2024 election, the general election, election day itself is November 5th, 2024. That is only 93 days from today, August 5th. Okay? But check this out. The first absentee and mail-in ballots, they're going to be sent out 32 days from today. Yeah, that's barely over a month from today. I would say it's a bit urgent. It's time to talk about these things. It's time to pay attention, y'all. That's down in North Carolina, where those are going out, for those who are wondering. But the first ones, they start to go out 32 days from today. Early voting, in-person voting, begins in 42 days. 42 days from today. And it kicks off in Pennsylvania. So yeah, we need to know what's going on. We need to pay some attention around here. We need some information. So I encourage you to make sure that you check your voter registration status and that you remind everyone you know. Listen, I know politics is not woo, but if this country is put back in the hands of the one who we shall not name at this particular moment in time, it's not going to be woo for anybody. It's going to be whoa. And not any of the good woes. Okay? Okay. You can check with your state information about mail-in ballots and absentee voting and early voting by going to vote.org. Again, that is vote.org. Okay? So let's talk about the difference between absentee and vote by mail or the mail-in ballots. Okay? Because there is a difference. Now, states, they allow voters who cannot or do not want to vote in person to cast mail-in or drop-off ballots through absentee voting or vote-by-mail programs. So first, let's get clear on absentee voting. Although most states do have absentee voting, deadlines and rules on who can take part vary. Some states require an excuse to vote absentee. Others do not. In most states, you will need to request an absentee ballot to vote in each election. But in some states, you may qualify to sign up to receive absentee ballots for every election. So again, I encourage you to visit vote.org, O-R-G, so that you know what's up in the state that you live in. If you recently relocated, you have a decision to make. Where are you going to vote? Do you need to be a resident of this new state, this new area, this new territory? For those of you that may be rocking out on Guam Rock, Puerto Rico, or other places. You need to know what the rules and regulations are. Can you vote in this new place, or do you need to vote where you just moved from? Please don't wait until the last minute. Time is of the essence. And each and every one of us needs to do our part. Regardless of who you're going to vote for, please make sure that you vote. That is what I ask. And don't tell me that your vote doesn't matter, because that's what certain individuals are counting on. They're counting on you believing that your vote doesn't matter. Your vote doesn't count. You could end up being that one deciding vote. Don't sit this out. Okay? Okay. Let's talk about vote by mail. Instead of absentee voting programs, some states offer vote by mail, known as all mail programs. They automatically send ballots to all registered voters in the state before Election Day. So again, visit vote.org, vote.org, to see what's up where you live. Okay? All right. So now that we know when in the world the election is, and we know about absentee voting and early voting, who are the candidates? Let's get crystal clear on that. Who in the world could we potentially be voting for? And yes, I'm going to have to mention names here. So take a breath. You're so very welcome for the information. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. And if you're watching the replay, thank you for taking the time to watch. Thank you for making the time to be informed. This is important. This will impact all of our lives and future generations to come. But we'll get there. Let's talk about the candidates. So, on the one side, the Republican side, we have Donald Trump running for president. Donald Trump ran against Hillary Clinton and became president in 2016, but then he lost to Joe Biden with Mike Pence as his vice president. And he is again running for re-election, this time alongside J.D. Vance, the junior senator from Ohio. Now, I don't know if you know this, but Donald Trump often says that he beat Barack Obama in a presidential race for the White House. But let's get crystal clear on something. Barack Obama was a 2-term president. He was not eligible for a 3rd term. So he was not running for president in 2016. Okay? Okay. All right. On the other side, for the Democrats, we have Kamala Harris, who is currently vice president to Joe Biden. She will announce her VP pick officially tomorrow, Tuesday, August 6th. Now, she could drop hints early, but I have a funny feeling, a tingly, wonderful feeling that we're going to have to wait until tomorrow. But that's okay. It's just one sleep away. We got this. Okay? So, we will learn more about the VP picks later on this week. As a matter of fact, we're going to learn about J.D. Vance tomorrow. I feel like I hear cat ladies. And I love it. All right. So, let us continue on. That is what you need to know for today for the political news updates. I don't want to overload or overwhelm you, but that is where we are. That is why I have decided to launch this show, and we talk about more than just politics here. I promise we do. So, let's talk about some health and wellness news updates, because I don't know if you know, but I am the holistic health and wellness balance queen. Holistic health and wellness is my jam. I eat, sleep, breathe this stuff. And if you ever hang out with me on my live streams, I'm sure even if I am doing live stream battles, I'm sure you're going to hear me say something related to health and wellness. I can't help it, not that I'm trying to. So, let's shift gears and let's talk about some health and wellness news updates. My boos, my babes, my dearest darlings, I'm here to let you know little Miss Rona is still here. She is alive and thriving. She is continuing to multiply and mutate. And we need to make sure that we are paying attention. So, I'm going to give you some info that you may not be aware of. Rates for Miss Rona are still rising across most of the country. Yeah. And this is fueled by the highly contagious new variants of the virus. KP2, KP3, and LB1. Yes, 3 different highly contagious variants all at the same time. Woo! As of July 18th, the highest levels of Miss Rona are in the western states. Although, just to be clear, there are no areas of the United States, and I'm talking all of the United States, not just the continental United States. We're talking about the U.S. and her territories, okay? There are no areas of the U.S. where rates are noticeably dropping. At least 21 states, at least 21, have very high levels of Miss Rona. California, Washington, Oregon, Utah, Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Florida, North Carolina. Those are the worst. But Alaska, Hawaii, Idaho, Wyoming, Colorado, New Mexico, Kansas, Minnesota, Missouri, Mississippi, South Carolina, Maryland, Delaware, and the District of Columbia, Washington, D.C., are not far behind. Right? I know. So, epidemiologist Caitlin Jetelina, she recommends for anyone who has been infected or suspects that they may be infected with Miss Rona, she recommends isolating until an at-home test, Rona test, turns negative, which could be anywhere from 3 to 15 days. And just so you know, this does differ from hospital isolation, which is typically 10 days. So if you end up in the hospital, they're going to keep you isolated for 10 days. All right? So, wearing masks in crowded situations, crowded indoor situations, is recommended, as well as close, cramped quarters outdoors, like your concerts, your sporting events, yes. Okay? So how can you protect yourself? There are several ways. Wearing a mask, putting distance between yourself and others, and remaining up to date on vaccinations. The CDC, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, they recommend everyone ages 6 months and older receive an updated 2024-2025 Rona vaccine to protect against the potentially serious outcomes of Miss Rona this fall and winter, whether or not they have ever previously been vaxxed against Miss Rona. Okay? And while you're at it, make sure that you get an updated 2024-2025 flu vaccine to protect yourself this fall and winter. It is safe to get a flu and a Rona vaccine in the same visit. Most of us will not need to schedule separate visits for that. So that's really great to know. And it is also important to know that people do lose their lives to Miss Rona still. And people also lose their lives to the flu. I did not know prior to Miss Rona coming around, I did not know that people passed away from the flu. But they do every single year. And I'm going to give you some figures here. So in 2023, more than 916,300 people were hospitalized due to Miss Rona. and more than 75,500 passed away from Miss Rona. This was last year, y'all, 2023. During the 2023-2024 flu season, more than 44,900 people are estimated to have passed away from flu complications. So we need to take these things seriously, okay? Take your health seriously. This is the only meat suit you get this go round. Take care of it. Now, September and October are the best times to be vaxxed for the flu, okay? July and August are not recommended for most people. But I want to talk about the people who could potentially be vaxxed for the flu in July and August. So pregnant people in their third trimester can get a flu vax in July or August to protect their babies from the flu after they're born while they're still too young to be vaxxed themselves, okay? Children who need 2 doses of the flu vax, they should get their first dose as soon as it becomes available, the 2024-2025 round of flu vaccines. The second dose should be given at least 4 weeks after the first. Vaccination in July or August can be considered for children who have healthcare visits during those months if there might not be another opportunity to vaccinate them. So if your kids have to go to the doctor in July or August and you may not be able to get them in September or October, then you could potentially get them immunized then. Okay? For adults, especially those 65 years old and older, and pregnant people in the first and the second trimester, vaccination in July and August should be avoided unless it won't be possible to vaccinate in September or October. So I can tell you right now, when I was preparing for today's session, I was like, okay, so I'm going to make appointments for my son and I immediately. But then, as I kept reading, I said, oh, whoa, not yet. I'm going to wait until at least September to get us both vaxxed for Miss Rona as well as the flu. Okay? All right. Please protect yourselves, my darling hearts. Please, please, please. It is important. Okay, so that does it for our health and wellness news update. So let's take a breath, go ahead and sip some water. Good water break. Because now I want to shift gears. I want to get into our health and wellness deep dive for today. And I want to talk to you about politics and your mental health. I often hear people say that they don't watch the news, they don't pay attention to politics because it stresses them out. I get it. I do pay attention to the news and politics, and it stresses me out. So while I agree that both can be stressful and they can leave you feeling overwhelmed, if you don't take breaks from the input, right? It is important to take those breaks. None of us, like I said at the top of the show, none of us have the luxury of avoiding politics because they directly impact our mental health. They directly impact our mental health. So let's talk about that. I'm going to give you a bit of info here. Mental health crosses party lines, okay? It's not that all the Republicans have mental health issues and all of the Democrats are scot-free. No. And it's not that way vice versa either. Okay? Half of all Americans will experience a mental health condition in their lifetime. Half. Half. They affect us, our friends, family members, and other members of our communities, regardless of where we stand politically. When we do not support people, we pay heavily, whether in healthcare, workforce, quality of life, or actual lives lost. Ensuring access to a variety of services and supports that enable Americans to stay in their communities and to contribute to society should be a non-partisan issue. More than anything else, where you live can determine your access to care. While federal policies and efforts can help steer the nation, state and local policies can make the ultimate difference in your access. Using party affiliation data from Gallup, we are going to look at some info. Gallup, they do tons of polls, okay? The top 10 states were almost evenly split among Democratic-leaning, Republican-leaning, and competitive states. All states, regardless of political makeup, can support access to care. Now more than ever, we, the voters, need to tell officials at all levels of government to take action to address mental health in our communities. Because 1 in 5 adults has a mental health condition, and 1 in 2 Americans will deal with a mental health condition at some point in their life. Anxiety levels have gone through the roof. They have skyrocketed, especially in our younger generations. Depression is at an all-time high. But there are lots of other mental health issues, diseases, and disorders. And so we need to do what we can. We need to make sure that we're paying attention, that we are voting for not just ourselves, but for our children, for our neighbors, so that everyone has access to what they need. Now, I live here in Ohio, and it's pretty good here. But I can't say the same for everywhere. Okay? So please make sure that your elected officials at all levels, local, state, federal, make sure that they're held accountable for improving access to care. Ask questions, raise awareness, and use your vote. Please vote, darlings. Please vote. Take a breath. How we doing? You hanging in there with me? I hope so. I think that we could stand to take a little breather. What do you think? Let's go ahead. Let's breathe. And let's let all of that good, juicy information that I just shared with you, let's let it sink in. So, we are going to get into our relaxation time. Okay? We're going to check in with our breathing, and I'm going to take you through a guided meditation. It's important that you make time to meditate every single day. I hope that you do. And meditating is a lot easier than you think. Meditating doesn't have to be this forced thing where you sit here with perfect posture and you chant Aum, Aum over and over and over again. Of course, you absolutely can. But when you're outside going for a walk, you're meditating. When you are exercising and you're just kind of falling into your flow where you're almost moving on autopilot, you're in a state of meditation. So let's release all of the pressure and the weirdness around meditation, and let's see it for what it really is, which is a beautiful opportunity for us to simply quiet down the mind and check in with ourselves. Yes? Yes. All right, let's get some music here so that we can simply chill, chill, chill. Yes? Oh, yes, my boos. Oh, yes. Let's do it to it. Let me get this music on and popping for you. Thank you for staying with me, my darling hearts. I hope that you are finding this informative and supportive, and I hope you're enjoying. All right, let's get some music here. I love you right back. Thank you for loving me. So we've talked about mental health a lot. We've talked about anxiety. And so I'm going to take you through a meditation to help you breathe away the anxious thoughts. Yes? Yes. All right. Let's get into it. Welcome in. Welcome to this meditation that will help support relieving depression and those anxious thoughts. Make sure that you are in a comfortable position and that you will not be disturbed for the duration of this session. Bring your focus to your breath and really pay attention to how your lungs expand and contract when you inhale and exhale. Let your breath flow however it wants to right now. Notice your jaw. And if you feel any tension here, just notice it. Don't try to change anything. Now, breathe into the sensations in your jaw. And as you exhale, allow it to release a little. Inhale again, imagining, that you are breathing in new life. And when you exhale, let all fear completely fade. Take another breath in. And when you exhale, feel yourself let go of any worries. Notice how relaxed you're becoming right now. Let another breath come in naturally, imagining a bright future. And as you let it go, notice how depression eases and fades. A gentle wave of relaxation sweeps over you as you breathe in and out. Allow your breath to flow naturally now. Let yourself feel calm and peaceful. You deserve this wonderful feeling of serenity. You are open now to receive new thoughts, and you open up even more with each breath you take to new and fresh energy. Notice how new ideas begin to present themselves to you. Bring up feelings of abundance, as if you have so much that your cup pours over for others to enjoy the abundance you have created. Imagine that you are energized and have a zeal for life. Even if this is not true of your present self, imagine it vividly and with as much detail as you can. See yourself full of energy and optimism. You can imagine it as if you're watching a movie of yourself, if this helps. But see the colors brightly and watch yourself full of ambition, taking steps towards achievement. Stay with your breath and allow your intentions to remain positive. Even if you don't feel positive in this moment, you can imagine what being joyful is like. So, breathe into this joy you are creating and notice how you are consciously shifting any depressed or anxious thoughts right now into peaceful feelings instead by following your breath. Breathe deeply and let your exhale completely relax you. Any thoughts that previously held you back become smaller and smaller. Watch negative thoughts diminish little by little, as if you are riding away in a car. And these negative thoughts are sitting along the roadside, shrinking into the distance as you ride away with ease. As you see them go, you are freed from their grip. If you have any more negative thoughts rise, drop them off on the side of the road by any creative means that arise, and ride away, watching them grow smaller until they are consumed by the horizon. Allow yourself a few moments to simply be. Notice and feel changes from this moment right now, and the difference between how you felt before you began this meditation. Your new thoughts find a new home within your inner being. Return your focus to your breath for a few moments. Whenever you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Good. Commend yourself for making these steps toward a better life. Accept this wonderful change to your new life. Take as much time as you'd like to just be in gratitude for several moments. Thank you. Go ahead and bring your awareness back to your physical body, wiggling those fingers and toes, those beautiful phalanges. Coming back, back to the present moment, back to higher vibrations, back to an inner sense of peace, calm, and knowing that no matter what comes your way, you have all of the tools that you need to navigate these energies. Remember, my darling hearts, you are limitless souls having a human experience. You are not a human with a soul. There is a huge difference here. Thank you for allowing me to support you in this meditation. Welcome back, my lovey lovies. I hope that you enjoyed that meditation. This will be a permanent fixture of our live streams going forward for our talk show, the Lotus Life Exchange. Yes, I will be giving you a lot of powerful information to help you move things forward. And yes, I absolutely acknowledge the fact that staying informed can oftentimes lead to a sense of overwhelm. I am not here to overwhelm you. I am here to empower you. And that is why, after I give you the daily dose of deets that you need, we'll chill out for a few minutes. Okay? All right. So now I'd like to share with you some resources that can support you as you continue to move things forward. So we're going to go on a little trip, okay? And we are going to go to my website, to my on-demand library. All right? So let me go ahead and share my display with you so that we can get there. All right. So when you come to my website, lotuslifewithmc.com, you are going to want to visit the Flow tab of the menu. And in this Flow tab, you will find our on-demand library. Yes, 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 yes. We love the on-demand library. We absolutely do. So let me just bring up my notes so that I show you exactly what I want you to see. There's so much in my on-demand library, but there's no need to feel overwhelmed. So we've talked a lot today about mental health and anxiety. And so let's talk about some resources that can support you here. Meditating and practicing yin yoga, these are two very powerful ways that you can help to bring down those anxious feelings. Okay? They're two beautiful ways that you can quiet down that inner dialogue and potentially reframe that dialogue, reprogram yourself. So, here in my on-demand library, in the recommended category, you will see our meditation for anxiety. This is a 17-minute meditation that I have created, and it is free for everyone. It is my gift to the world. You can rent this for 36 hours at a time, but you can come back and rent it again as many times as you wish. There's no limit. And you'll see on the screen, it even says total today, 0 doll hairs. Now, what you're going to want to do to get access to this for free, you're going to want to make sure that you come through the website. I do also have a mobile app. If you go through the mobile app, it may prompt you to sign up for membership to unlock the entire library. So just make sure you come through the website first, and then you can revisit it as many times as you like through the app. And on every page of my website, at the very top, you'll see a banner that says download the mobile app. My app is free to download for both Apple and Android devices. Okay? So that meditation for anxiety, like I said, is free, but that's not it. There are lots more meditations and yin yoga flows where that came from. So I'm going to show you exactly where to find them. The library is in alphabetical order to make things easier. The categories are in alphabetical order. So if you come down to the M section, you will see the meditations. I'm going to hit view all. And you'll see that we have daily meditations. We have 20 plus minute meditations. We have less than 20-minute meditations. And we also have some ASMR, Autonomous Sensory Meridian Response guided meditations. Okay? ASMR, it's all the rage when you hear people talking about the tingling and the taps. Why is everyone tapping on everything? Why is everyone whispering all the time? That's ASMR, darlings. My ASMR style guided meditations, they are soft-spoken ASMR. I do not involve sounds, taps, and crinkles and things like that because those can be very polarizing. But they are instead soft-spoken, which is a form of ASMR. There are so many different types of ASMR. I encourage you to look into it. I'm exploring it, and I will be creating more ASMR content, not just guided meditations. Now, what I honestly recommend for you, if you are wanting to achieve the ultimate balance, I encourage you to create a daily chakra balancing practice for yourself using our daily meditations. Each of these are attuned to the particular chakras of the week. Okay? And I encourage you to combine those with our daily yin yoga flows. We have two types of yin yoga flows. We have the 1.0 flows and the 2.0 flows. The 1.0 flows, each and every one of those, they are fewer than 60 minutes. A typical yin yoga class is 60 minutes or longer. But these are fewer than 60 minutes, so you could use the daily meditations and the daily yin flows 1.0, and you could balance out your chakra of the day in less than an hour. Our 2.0 yin yoga flows, those are longer, and they are intended to take you deeper inside of yourself, deeper into the quiet stillness that we are cultivating. Now, the beauty of yin yoga is that it doubles as a meditative practice itself. And so if you're busy, if you just do not want to meditate at all, you can absolutely simply tap into the daily yin yoga flows and let that be more than enough to create that daily chakra balancing practice for you. But that's not it. Something else that you could use in my on-demand library to create that daily chakra balancing practice for yourself is our 29-day yin yoga challenge. Now, the thing about this, it's designed to begin on any Saturday of your choosing. It also ends on a Saturday. This is intentional. The reason for this is because Saturdays are associated with the root chakra at the base of your spine, which is home to your sense of safety and security. And until you feel safe and secure, you are not going to be able to balance out any of your other energy centers, not optimally. So, whether you choose to commit to that 29-day journey inside of yourself, and by the way, I do have clients that use that month after month after month because they like the challenge. They like the repetition. If that is something that you choose to do, you heard me say that it stops. It ends on a Saturday. So once you get to the end, you would not on the same day start day one again. No, no, no. Instead, I encourage you to tap into some of the other yin yoga flows in the library until you get to the following Saturday. And then you'll restart your 29-day challenge. Okay? So, to unlock the entire library, there are more than 100 hours worth of content in this library, things to support your body, mind, and spirit balance. You can get your first month of membership for just $11.11 US. Every month thereafter is $33.33. However, if you do not have the budget for that, there is another option for you. So let's go back up to the menu, and we're going to go back to that flow tab of the menu. And just beneath the on-demand library, you will see the Chakra Balancing Boot Camp. This Chakra Balancing Boot Camp is only $11.11 per month, every single month. And it consists of our daily meditations and our daily yin yoga flows 1.0 only. So again, you can use this to balance your energies, to quiet down the inner chatter, and to separate from the outside noise in under 1 hour. The beauty of yin yoga is that it works into the joints and the deeper connective tissues where we store stale, stagnant energies that no longer serve us. It is different from your other types of yoga that work into your muscles, like your hot yoga, Bikram, Vinyasa, goat yoga, wine yoga, wine and chocolate, laughter yoga. There's so many different types. But yin yoga is different from all of these. Where those other types of yoga that work into your muscles, you're moving in and out of poses every 30 to 60 seconds, or in a vinyasa flow, you're moving with every in breath and every out breath. I don't know about you, but that can absolutely trigger anxiety. Yin yoga, on the other hand, instead of moving in and out of poses every 30 to 60 seconds or with each and every in and out breath, you're going to stay in each individual pose anywhere from 3 to 5.5 minutes. This is a quiet seated practice, and this is why it doubles as a meditative practice, because it truly supports you in creating the quiet stillness that is needed to bring yourself out of that fight, flight, freeze mode, to release the feelings of stress, to lower the anxiety, and to tune in to your inner world, your divine feminine space, your yin nature. Each and every one of us has divine feminine energy. Each and every one of us has divine masculine. Your divine masculine, that's your outer world, your beingness, how you show up. Your divine feminine, that's your inner world. And it consists of your thoughts, your emotions, and your intuition. So hopefully now you're able to see just how powerful yin yoga really is. Everyone that I have ever introduced to yin yoga has fallen in love with it. It will improve your posture. It will bring you into this beautiful presence with yourself and the present moment. You'll be able to hear what's true for you and separate from the rat race and the noise of the outside world. Okay? So, whether you choose to unlock the entire on-demand library or you choose to roll into the chakra balancing boot camp, it is my sincere hope and prayer that you choose to invest in yourself, in your mental health. Because like I said, we don't have the luxury of not paying attention, of being willfully ignorant and uninformed. Whoever we elect as the next president of these United States will shape the country for the next 50 years, because the next person to hold office will have at least 2 Supreme Court picks. Don't worry, we're not going to talk about the Supreme Court today. We will get there another day. Okay? But I wanted to show you what was available to you. Okay? And yes, you can easily access both the on-demand library and the Chakra Balancing Bootcamp from my app as well. And again, my app is free to download for both Apple and Android devices. You come to any page on my website, at the top you'll see a banner that says download the mobile app. You tap that and it's going to bring you to the page where you can download it from the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. Okay? All right. Let us come back. Welcome, welcome, welcome back, darling hearts. Now, something cool that we do around here on Fridays, I get to answer your questions. any questions that you have, whether it's about anything political that I may have shared with you, or anything pertaining to health and wellness that I may have shared with you, anything relating to my on-demand library, anything that you hear me discuss in any of these live streams, if it brings questions to your mind, I'm going to ask you to please email me your questions. I will answer them on Fridays during our special Friday Q&A segment. Okay? So you can email those questions to hello@lotuslifewithmc.com. Again, that is hello@lotuslifewithmc.com. We did it, darlings. We did it. We did it. We did it. We made it through our very first episode of the Lotus Life Exchange. I will be streaming the Lotus Life Exchange live Monday through Friday, starting at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. And I hope that you will join me. But don't worry, if you can't join live, if you have to leave during the live stream, I encourage you to simply watch the replay on YouTube. Sure, you can watch the replay on Twitch if you like, but my Twitch replays right now, they only live for 7 days. My YouTube replays, they live forever. #Sandlot. If you know, you know. I love you, and I cannot thank you enough for joining me. Thank you for letting me share some information with you, some very important information. I hope that you found it useful. I hope that it helps you move things forward in your life. And I hope that you choose to get in good trouble. Staying informed does not have to overwhelm you. And when you find yourself feeling overwhelmed, take those breaks. My on-demand library is not going anywhere. It only continues to grow. So use it. It's there to support you. But please, please, please stay informed. I love you, my darling hearts. Thank you for joining me. And I will see you tomorrow for our next episode of the Lotus Life Exchange. Stay safe and amazing. Namaste.